Speak to me, boy.
Hey everybody, this is a special edition of the Thirsty Nerds podcast. We're coming to you with a thirst quencher. We're going to do a review for Marvel's latest entry, welcoming their new Avenger. You know, I popped up from listening to the Drake album so I can give you guys a review for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And we're going to talk about that here today.
Not one, not two, but 10.
10. 10.
And
10
what
rings.
what is the Legend of the Ten Rings?
I don't know.
The movie didn't know either. He was like, he found the rings. Yep.
In moving on.
That's it. Yeah. We kept going.
All right. I'm just gonna get it out there. For all intents and purposes, I thought it was cool. I was riding with it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
They had their comedy, they had their action sequences, which were really good. I've heard nothing but praises about that. It's pretty cool. When I saw it, I thought it was really nice. Boy, I haven't seen movement like that in a long time. You know, we've got
Really solid, like fight
we've all
choreograph.
got so used to that cut. You know, Jason Bourne.
The shaky cam.
Yeah.
Like,
Making everybody look like they know how to fight, but then when you see people who actually know how to fight with that quality, ooh.
It was awesome the way they implemented the kung fu wire work, but they blended it so nicely into the Marvel universe. That was one of the high points. I feel like the movie kind of lost me here and there in a couple times. That's my takeaway from it.
yeah, like I was like, especially with the, like, I know everyone talks about the jokes and stuff, but this time I could really feel it. Like, it felt inappropriate. Sometimes,
yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, hey, this is funny, huh? But we were just having a very serious conversation about my past. Nah. Beef?
I think I brought it up at the end of the movie to you that this felt like it had a lot of Disney touch into it. Like, there was a lot of mouse in this one, particularly more than any other Marvel movie that I've seen from them. This one really had like that it had a white glove the entire time. I felt like it.
Like, yeah, I can relate to that.
Got you a palm of my hand.
So real fast, speaking about in the palm of hands, I don't know where I was going.
Where are you going? I
was gonna try and tie it into whatever. Either way, let's talk about what we liked about this movie. You know, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think we already touched on it, like the choreography, the choreographed fights and stuff were like the highest point to me in this film. Like, they were really cool. When I was engaged every time there was a fight scene on screen, and it felt very like a nice amount. You know, it didn't feel like there was really not that many like slog parts in this film. It felt evenly paced, at least with the fights and everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it did have a very nice balance of getting into action and then kind of just like I guess not not downtime, but just moving the story along. And sometimes, I will say sometimes the story felt like it moved a little bit too fast. But I guess we'll get into the bad parts of what I didn't really care for. The choreography was great. The actors' chemistry was really good.
It's true.
Even though I had issues with like the script, it hit key points that it needed to give you a story.
Right.
It was a good introduction that it did, while still kind of followed like the Marvel formula that they have set up. It was a step above that for I guess an introduction story.
Yeah.
They kind of was like, here's a story that we're going to give you enough of his past so you can kind of understand who he is. But the whole point of this movie is for you to understand what his power structure is kind of going to be, while still giving you a pretty enjoyable, I guess, story.
Yeah, cool. That's you hit on kind of where I was gonna go, where it's like, you know, there's a lot in here, like the actors' chemistry that was really, really well done. Simu Liu he's pretty charismatic. I liked him as a title character.
Yeah.
I liked everybody really.
Like, I have to say it was shaky at first. I don't know, like he grew on me after a while and everything.
Yeah, it was a fast grow on me though. I was kind of shaky on like the first 5 minutes of interactions. There was like it was one of the things in the movie. There was like kind of like breakneck speed of like, this is who it is, and kind of like almost act like you've known him for a while.
Yeah,
right.
But it wasn't bad because it kind of acclimated you pretty easy. He was just a I don't want to say run of the mill, but it's an everyday guy.
Yeah,
They really
like, I
portrayed
bought
him-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he has like an insane
Yeah.
little six pack going on there.
Well-
He got a little body definition. He got a little situation going on down here.
under his shirt.
I mean, but he's an average guy who just parks cars.
Yeah.
But aside from all that, I just really, really dug what the movie was trying to sell to me. It felt like it did do a good job in making me feel like the first Shang-Chi comic that I read almost a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It made me feel like this character has been here the whole time. And so obviously they nailed that. I just like the chemistry. I love the fight sequences as well. And I like the worlds that they crafted.
Yeah.
I thought they were cool. I mean, it ain't no Wakanda, but it's in its own.
It's not a competition.
Yes, it is. It's in its own. It's in its own league. Like it was really, really good how they delve into their
The lore.
their lore and stuff like that. I thought it was really nice how they put that stuff in there, which is something that I also had an issue with, but it worked at the same time. But we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, I have like not a love-hate relationship, but I'm kind of like struggling where I want to place this movie at. If it's on my higher end of really enjoyed Marvel movies, or if it's closer towards like, man, it was okay.
Right.
But I think it gives it an upper hand because now I want to watch it again just to really make sure, like, did I catch everything the way that I perceived it in this moment? Or was I being too critical on it just from the get-go?
Because that easily happens. Like what movie did I see? Because there was a couple of them where I had like nothing but expectation, people following people on Twitter, hearing what they're saying about it, and then I saw it, and then I perceive it a different way, and then I watch it a year or so later, and I'm like, oh shit, is this the same movie? I missed something.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Like this happened to me a lot with Age of Ultron. That was one of those movies where it came out. It was like drop in the pan. It didn't really. And then I watched it like a couple months later after I finished WandaVision, and I'm like, which by the way, the psycho programming that Disney Plus is doing for me. But I watched it and I was like, wow, you know what? This movie's all right. So I get that definitely.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I need to see it a second time, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of space before I watch it again.
And the drama, I guess, it was building up around it in the weeks leading to its release. I think it added to that. I think if none of the extra baggage that everybody and their mother tried to put on top of this movie, if none of that would have happened, I think I would have gone into it with a different mentality.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that I wanted to see it fail or any that type of way, but it's still those type of things just linger in your mind.
Yeah, it's like it's the back of your head.
Yeah, and then
like
you start kind of judging things skewed, like, I don't know, almost like sarcastically, even like rolling your eyes at some of the shit that maybe perhaps you would have enjoyed.
When I went to see Black Widow, I think I rolled my eye because of the preconceptions going into it.
Yeah.
I rolled my eyes at half the jokes. I was like,
yeah,
they are doing the jokes, fucking making these jokes. But I don't have a problem with jokes, but hearing about it and then seeing it, I'm like, okay, yeah, that is a little. So yeah, I'm definitely right with you on that opinion.
I will say it felt like this movie a lot more jokes landed than missed, and I did enjoy that. And I think a lot of it was again, it comes down to the chemistry that they had. The way that they were able to kind of like bounce jokes off of each other and kind of like break tension. Sometimes when it didn't need to be broken, I would say that there's something that I kind of saw as a fault. But even when they didn't need to be broken, they kind of went with it and kept the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Kind of like grabbed me back in. It's like, oh, this is just their personality.
Yeah, this is how they were and everything.
And it was cool, but again, it was the same way. It had some moments where you like, was this really necessary?
Yeah, was that necessary? Like, I loved and hated that break of tension on the plane ride. Like, I thought, of course, yes, breaking it for a joke. It's funny. The joke landed to me. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But
also breaking me out of that story that I was really, really getting. I was like, oh shit.
It was kind of jarring.
Yeah.
And they did it a couple times. To, I don't know. It wasn't not to the distaste, but they did it a couple times, and it was like, okay, one's cool, two cool, three times.
Three times you need to chill out.
You need to relax a little bit.
You could have waited.
So, Before we move on to what we didn't like out the movie, I want to go ahead and address something because
I think we're hitting it.
Oh, we're doing it very lightly.
Yeah,
we're about to open the palm and really talk about our disagreements with the film. So yeah, just before we get to that, I want to make sure because I didn't address this earlier, and I don't think anyone else did. We're down a man today.
Where'd he go?
Oh,
he went to a thing.
I swear to God, you're telling me he's not right there?
No,
So he is.
he's not right here.
So he's fake, unlike the little pig wing thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were all in attendance when we did that Green Knight, and what else did we review? Snake Eyes.
Oh.
we were all there.
Oh no, I was talking about the little wing creature from the movie.
Oh yes.
He was making a
okay.
reference.
I was making a reference too.
you guys.
But yeah,
the little cute whatever the fuck it was.
the all neck no head
Morbid
looking
or
ass monster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody really enjoyed that because somebody knows what that is. Some traditional Chinese. Please, if you know what it's called, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those of you who've seen it know exactly what I'm talking about.
Because I'm lost.
I don't know what the fuck that thing was.
Yeah, it's
In my-
cute. Even if it had no head, no eyes.
In my head, I thought like it was incomplete because it wasn't in its world, and when it got there, it would it would have grew a head and all this other stuff.
No, they're all headless.
There's a bunch.
Oh, okay.
They all look like little like leg rests.
Yeah, all little little leg rests.
But without further ado, I think well let's see. So I feel like we all enjoyed the movie. I think the movie was enjoyable. It had its high points, it had its low points, but it is a movie where it's, I mean, you're gonna see it anyway. It's fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
Right.
Just stop blinding yourselves. So if you haven't seen this movie, it is a recommend. I do believe it's very good. It's a enjoyable theater experience actually.
Yeah.
For return back and even though with the Delta and all this shit kind of popping back off, but it was an enjoyable theater experience. Just some of the shots they would come in over the mountains and extra different like shots that look really good in the fucking big screen.
Really good. Yeah, I agree.
So I would say, man, go watch this movie. It's another $1 billion movie for Marvel.
Yep.
I think like if you just want to have a go to the theater, have a good time and everything, it's still that, no matter what we say, that may put you off or everything, it's still.
No, it's a very enjoyable
still a good
movie.
movie.
I
It's still a
think
very enjoyable
it
movie.
goes without say that this one is a watch.
Yeah.
Definitively, no one's gonna argue that. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Having said that,
Yep.
It is not a movie without faults. And
yes,
I feel like this is going to be the area where we're going to start getting into spoilers and breaking down some of the fuckery that I felt was towards the third act.
Yeah.
we're closing the palm. We're not gonna let it breathe. We're gonna close it.
Yeah. Let's go.
That'll make sense once you see the film.
But yeah, go see it. Again, we're going to get right into this mess and not mess. I don't want to sound like I'm fucking just hating on it.
Right.
Like you still need
I'm
to
not.
be, you can still give it a critique. Like the third, like especially like you said, like the third act wasn't really the best. Like it started to start adding more shit that it didn't really need to go.
This became a Fast and the Furious movie really fast.
real quick. It got
Now, make no mistake, the Fast and Furious movie in a bad sense, if there even is such a thing.
yeah.
I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even say a bad sense because Fast and Furious done some wilder shit and out of nowhere.
Yeah, wilder than
least
wilder.
this universe at least this universe has set up a previous thing of magic and supernatural essences that help soften the blow of tentacle monsters escaping dragon scaled doors.
It was believable, unlike some of the things that that Dom does in Fast and Furious. Just
Hey,
because.
we're not.
Okay, we're not. I know we're not. I know.
Toretto. Did you know what Toretto spells backwards?
All right, I don't know.
I don't either, but it's magical, and that would explain why they can do what they do. But yeah, let's talk about Shang-Chi.
One of my other gripes is there was a lot of like these flashbacks to his past and stuff, and don't get me wrong, a good chunk of it I liked. It was needed and stuff, but then they kept going back to the same ones here and there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, We get it.
Yeah, how much of this do we need? We have enough material.
The problem I had with that wasn't that they kept going back to those same scenes. It was that they kept going back and adding more details. Conversation that was at first was like 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden this conversation is 20,
like they add 20. More dialogue.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're fucking sitting there having a picnic, talking for like 15 minutes while there's goons waiting back there. Like,
I wish, like, just like we were watching. I think you talking. You did it while we were watching. Like, I wish the goon, when the mother died, because their mother died, and we wasn't sure how she died for the longest time until we saw the flashback and everything. Like, there was goons that came in and said, like, oh, they need, blood for blood. You need to pay for what your husband did or whatever. I was waiting for him to just pull out a gun and shoot her. Like, so I mean, because what apparently,
as soon as she starts doing this fucking shadow boxing, I'm pulling out that blade. I came here for a reason. I didn't come here. I didn't come here to dance with you.
Right? Like, you may do that shit up here, but we carry guns down here. Yeah.
The implications of that, because this means that like 20 guys came in and then beat the fuck out of her.
That's
to be fair. She took out like 6. There was like 6 bodies laying on the floor.
I feel like there could have easily been 11 somewhere. But she did some damage,
and she looked really good while she was getting her ass kicked.
Yeah,
like, she's perfectly fine.
No damage, no
blood, not bruise.
Don't get me wrong. It's not like I wanted to see it. But at the same time, if they came in there with their fists, I don't know.
Yeah. I have a theory. I don't think they beat her to death. I think she just had a heart attack beating her ass.
Oh my God.
And
that had to be how it went down, because, she beat a guy with 10 rings.
And she was impeccable.
Yes. Impeccable. She was, oh my.
Remember, she had lost her magic because she was away from.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. But then.
I like spending magic.
The dragon.
Right.
I'm not in my home.
So this movie does one thing that movies tend to do, and just like, oh, here. There's magic here, so it just builds up this extra level of fantastical fighting.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like the loss of it,
the rules start to change.
Yeah, they changed the rules a couple of times.
Like especially like in that last act and everything, people start doing shit like, wait a second.
My problem with that was that they're fighting the goons and they're having trouble kind of fighting the goons. But I just assumed everybody had that magic kung fu. So how are they losing? They should just be wiping the floor with these people.
Then they showed us that those the dragon scale it's powerful as fuck, because they literally had a rock.
It wasn't a rock. It was one of those like training like logs.
Yeah,
that he just sliced right through.
Yeah,
with the staff,
and they just destroyed it with just one swing with one of those like magic staves thing with the dragon scale. So I'm like, okay, they should be. And plus, there's only a few of them. Like, they should be tearing right through these goons.
Well, to be honest, I had some discrepancies. Like, how many? I never know how many people are anywhere in this movie. To be honest, there was a scene on the train where. I don't know if you guys, but like the Fast and Furious,
that old lady was in the train, was in 2 different cars at the same time,
and the goons felt like they were on. They got knocked into one part of the trailer, and then when we showed the people running to the other side, the goons weren't in there. It's like they disappeared. Shang kicked them.
Yeah, no, he started kicking them out of the bus.
They flew off on the side.
He knocked them. That's right. He knocked some of them out.
He killed them.
Was the bus driver not Morgan Freeman?
No,
actually, no.
That the bus driver was not Morgan Freeman.
It may have been a really good, like, it may have been one of those deep fakes, but no, it wasn't. It was. I had to check the credits.
1.5 seconds. Like, is that fucking Morgan Freeman?
While waiting for the last post credit scene, we actually read the all the little features. No, it wasn't Morgan Freeman. So that's a bit of a letdown. Didn't see that one coming.
No, they're saving
it's
him.
Unfortunate.
He'll be something else pretty cooler.
Yeah, he'll probably show up in Eternals and be actually the Celestial.
The Watcher?
Yeah.
Watching.
But this movie, what Chris was kind of getting to, because a lot of my larger gripes are with the third act, but there is something that I kind of pay attention to in all the Marvel movies. In this one and Black Widow kind of didn't really do it for me, where it was like the soundtrack is lacking. I'm hearing music from, I'm sure popular artists that the kids are listening to, but I mean in terms of like original soundtrack,
There was none. It was absolutely
Black Panther
barren.
fucking showed out for
Some
their
of it-
soundtrack. Ludwig Göransson, he did the soundtrack for Black Panther and Creed 2. He fucking showed out on that Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah, I was upset. Shang-Chi doesn't have like a unique theme.
Like where
nothing
is
that
this
was-
unique theme?
yeah.
Then, like,
I mean, even if it did, it was, to me, it almost felt like it was generic when they were trying to do anything that was like really like.
It really felt like it was, yeah, just like you said, like it felt like one of those generic like Chinese like hymns or song or rhythms and stuff like that. Like
the stuff you're used to hearing
Stuff you're
in
used to
these
hearing.
across these specific medias.
I was expecting a little bit more oomph since this is like supposed to be more into the culture and everything, a little bit more variety and stuff in the use of those instruments and those songs. But they kept using the same track over and over again, just in different level. Like they'll slow it down or they'll just it was it was a wasted. It was wasted potential.
It was a wasted opportunity to really give somebody who wants to get in there with the instruments. Again, I hate going back to Ludwig here with that Black Panther soundtrack.
It's not a competition.
It's not. It clearly.
No, but
clearly not a competition.
This was not a titular character. The next phase. This is supposed to be the next phase of Marvel.
Yeah,
they're opening up. Wasn't a titular like boom moment,
right? It doesn't hurt the movie really for not having it, but if it would have had it would have done so much more.
It would have given it another level.
Yes, it would have given it another like you got
on a new
Michael,
level.
Stop.
Because there is like that Wonder Woman soundtrack when it comes in and something happens like dun, dun,
yes,
like you know
felt
it.
it.
You know the Captain America theme when it comes in. You know the Iron Man, like all of these people, Thor, they have
even Spider-Man, Michael Guy, he came in, did an amazing they don't always put their ankles in their soundtracks, but when they do, they do. And this is one of those, this was the type of movie where it feels like they should have. And I'm not gonna argue all day about how it should have had a better soundtrack, but it kind of should have had a better soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know, like there's too much talent out here for this movie to not have that extra layer, you know?
Yeah. And it just keeps up with the theme that Marvel's going for. If they were to have given them something like that, just that iconic, would they just given it just that sonic sound when you see him? If it was just amped up and like really made for him, it would have given the movie another layer.
Like when in an Avengers film, when the Black Panther shows up or Captain America or the Winter Soldier shows up, it somehow weaves in their theme a little bit. And you're like, oh, he just showed up. Like it would have been nice to have something like that for Shang-Chi. But we see him later because we will.
This one just wasn't memorable to me.
Yeah, not at all. So that was a miss for me.
Yeah.
And then we get to that third act. Whew. No, boy, there was just so much complications in there for me. Like, I'll just say this, if it wasn't clear at all, I did overall love the movie, and I just felt like what they had in the third act, the story continuing from the first two was good, but I feel like they put so much in the way of it.
Yeah.
They had to give it that extra, you have to save the world on your own so you can be worthy of being an Avenger or some shit like that. That's what it felt like to me. And they put something in the way of what could have been a very contained story.
Yeah, it didn't need, like, I'm not sure if someone in the writing room panicked and felt like there wasn't enough towards the end.
Because there was plenty.
There was plenty. You had the father, you had the sibling, like, struggle with, with having a broken family and trying their best to bring that together and stuff, even though their father still won't let go of his grief for his wife that died.
Right.
And like that was good enough. Like it didn't need this. Like
I think what the movie failed for in my eyes that led to that third act is them actively trying to make the father a good figure or someone that could be redeemable.
Yeah.
Like he redeemed himself when he met the love of his wife, but so that person's still in there. So throughout the entire movie, they start hinting of like, well, he's not really bad. He's just being manipulated by this one external force.
Right.
Yeah.
Or he's like, but then you forget the thousands of years of raping, pillaging, and murdering. It just reminded me of something that I heard from Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. It was like, the Genghis Khan is everybody like glosses over and they try to point him as like, he opened up trade routes to China. They everything, all the good things that came from his reign but you dismissed the 50 million people that he murdered for these byproducts that weren't his. They weren't his intention in the first place.
Right.
No, it was just afterthoughts that just so happened to happen, and
Right.
Yeah.
Like we're lucky he met that woman that day and changed.
Otherwise, he would another 1,000 years of pillaging. He murdered people until 1996.
Pretty much.
I don't-
a little after.
Yeah, like I don't. That was another thing. Another gripe was like I wasn't sure how to feel about the Mandarin. I guess he's not the Mandarin, but wait, what was his name? His name
they changed his name. Yes, and I cannot remember what his name is in the comics now. Is it Wu?
Oh, you're
Bang
putting me on
Wu?
the spot here.
I know we read the
can't give you a
book.
definitive answer. Yeah, but yeah.
Because I read the 5-part last year, and I read a little bit of the one that's happening at the moment, Shang-Chi versus
The Marvel
Avengers.
Universe, Spider-Man, and all the shit. Yeah.
But I cannot. I believe it was Fang Wu.
Fang Wu.
I believe, but
I'm gonna
that's
go
in
with
the
that.
comics.
Yeah, I haven't read enough Shang-Chi to have that in my head memorized.
I know
but
that they changed the name because Fu Manchu is a fucking racist ass name.
Ooh, it's pretty bad. It's pretty
a
pretty
Manchu
yikes.
too.
Also, I will say, just to throw that in there, I did like that Mandarin, the explanation.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Ben
I was
Kingsley, when Ben
ooh.
Kingsley came in, he gave the movie an entire different type of comedy that I felt was needed.
Yeah.
He came in there and fucking stole the show for me. I fucking love Ben Kingsley in this movie.
Yeah, great use of him. Great own up for that fucking bomb that was Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
It was really good how they just put it all out there on the table. Like, yeah, essentially, look how America believed this. I was like, wow, that's some shit we would do. Just
Yeah,
to push it
exactly.
forward. So yeah, I really like that tie-in. But back to, for me, the third act, the thing that really, like, a lot of people are going to talk about the CGI and how they didn't like the the added what the CGI did when it comes to effects of the fighting and martial arts. I thought that shit went great. I thought the addition of the martial arts with the extra magic shit, now that throwdown between him and his father, anytime they fought, I was like, ooh, because they were getting into it, man. They were throwing fists. They were doing really well.
Throwing rings.
However, yes, throwing rings, catching rings. However, the addition of this dragon
CGI Cthulhu monster
breaking out of the gates and turning it into an epic, really big scale thing was a love and hate issue for me, because on the one hand, yes, Shang-Chi has to cut his teeth and show that he's Avenger worthy. I get that has to take place. But again, I feel like the turmoil between him and his father
was way more important.
And they just they wrapped it up real quick. They got his father the fuck out of here, and they said, fight big CGI monster.
You know when I always complain that every Marvel hero always fights a shadow of themselves. That's my has always been my biggest gripe. I didn't mean this. I didn't want it to be replaced with this.
We changed it. It was a twist. He wasn't really the bad guy.
But it's almost like they felt like, well, everybody's up here punching in Thanos, so we need this guy to be cosmically threat level or now. So we're going to include this demon that sucks out people's souls. Yeah. And because we need him to show you guys that he's ready to punch with the big guys. Not every movie needs to be a cosmic world ending threat.
No. Right.
Especially when you're introducing a character. I want to know about this character. I don't want to know about how hard he's going to punch Galactus in the face in the arc.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. They did that. They covered how cool these rings are in the first 10 minutes of the movie. They said this motherfucker's been alive for 1,000 years. If Shang-Chi gets the rings at the end of the movie, then I'm convinced, he's good enough. Yeah. I didn't need him to do
punch a fucking dragon.
I mean, and also I want to say something like this. There's a scene, the last half act, like 20 minutes of it is him and his sister riding this dragon around, fighting this other demon or whatever. I feel like in another time, maybe like 5 years ago, if somebody else who wasn't Asian directed this movie, they could catch flight for that. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's all I'm gonna say. I feel like the dragon, the people riding the dragon would be like a little they'd be a little sus of it with anybody else.
Like too many, like guys. Like I get it. We get it. That is, it's Asian, it's like, Chinese culture. Calm down.
Yeah, like
it was like that Mel Gibson Apocalypto shit. Like you can't direct Mayans cutting people's heart out, but if it was a Hispanic person,
they'd be like, oh
fine.
Shit, yeah.
Like you can't portray as Jews being evil when in the Bible they turn on Jesus. But I'm digging a hole.
Uh-oh.
Listen, you know what I mean.
You got the floor. I know what you mean.
All the shit that Mel Gibson went through, but I don't know. I gotta go back and watch that movie again.
Well, Apocalypse.
No, I was talking about the Jesus one that he got fired for.
Passion. Passion of the Christ.
That movie was just ridiculous.
That movie was good. It was a torture fest. It was a smut film.
It was an event that we were forced to watch in one way or another by our parents.
It had nothing to do with Jewish people being bad. It was, I don't know what he was going for, and
just really, it was just an experience.
What they did to him.
But anyway, where was I going? God damn it, this weed. This movie had some moments that I didn't like when they killed my guy, the blue ninja.
Oh yeah, he got sucked.
He bodied everybody left and right, and he got killed by a fucking CGI miniature. Not even the main monster. It just wasted.
They had to kill either him or Razorfist.
And we're not going to kill our token white.
No, sorry. And he talks.
Where was his blade hidden? His arm was cut off here.
I don't know.
The blade was like 10 inches, like 12 inches big.
It was longer than his arm.
I mean, it's like, where is it hiding? Does it go up his bicep?
In my brain, it's telling me that the material, like before he puts the blade out, the material bends? Right here, it just bends back and bends out. I don't know.
You got those lifting gloves on. You're doing a lot of.
I'm trying to help you.
A lot of this had you lifting. There's some areas that had you lifting a lot of shit.
Yeah.
On that real fast before we move on to the other shit, Razorfist is and always will be a stupid character. So I mean, I'm glad that they made him look legit.
At least they gave him only one arm.
Yeah, one arm because he had two in the comics. But how does he dress himself with two?
How does he go to the bathroom?
I don't know about making him look legit. You see his car?
I mean, he's a big ass white dude with a knife for a hand. He looked cool.
I don't care how much they try to sell me on the car being cool. Yeah, that car was fucking terrible.
That car was atrocious.
I was like, is this a joke? Is that his car?
Like,
does he really drive a car with his fucking call sign on it? Really?
It's ridiculous.
It's me, Razorfist.
Also, since when does a criminal activity not want women assassins? That is like from the beginning of time.
Yeah, but they're making a point, I guess. They're making a point as well, you know?
I guess.
I don't know if it was more so. Okay, here's the thing that they do, and I thought, I'll give them credit for trying because they did that thing where it's like, this isn't the point. Like, we obviously accept women warriors. Clearly, this movie had nothing but, like, we even had a conqueror change his mind because of a woman warrior. So it's not like they're unwarranted, but when I use the excuse that my wife is dead and I don't want to train my daughter, we can hit on that specific trauma that is a thing too. Like, so I give them props for putting it in there, but I guess it can come across a little, I don't know, a little preachy sometimes. Like, not as preachy as the Captain Marvel shit, obviously, but
Too on the
I get them for doing it. This movie has a lot of instances where it's like, I love that you tried. I also hate that you that it was in here.
I didn't even catch that. I didn't even catch that. That's why he didn't want her to train.
Yeah,
me either.
Yeah,
his mother. She looks just like her. Mother. Apparently, I thought that's what they say. So
I thought that was why he shunned her, which that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, he totally. I have a hard time. I guess he kind of closed up like, well, I was already training the boy, so I'll keep doing that. But you look like your mother. I can't.
Like, I was kind of hoping for more. Like, that's the thing that I touched upon, but I didn't go detail with. I kind of wanted him to be more ruthless and like more cold, I guess, because this guy's been around for 1,000 years, and he showed he had that side, but then it didn't go far enough for me. To warrant for me to see like this is an intimidating villain, You know,
Yeah.
like
See, that was my problem. There
Yeah.
was no villain. The villain ended up being a monster that was explained to us in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, hey,
There was
here's
no-
the real bad. So
Yeah, and there was no. That was my problem with the third act. There was no attachment to this monster. There's nothing that makes me like, okay, so it sucks out souls, and you gave me an explanation of why it's locked up. There is no tension of like,
yeah,
I don't know.
found out about it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that attached.
I'm angry at the father. Can we get a good like resolution of that?
Right.
Yeah.
Other than because I keep coming back to that. How fast they wrapped up him and his father was a real shame, a real miss for me because
Yeah.
the fight scenes between the two of them were fucking amazing. That ring play, I thought it looked a little like cheesy in the trailer because I was like, oh shit, Heido's right. That shadow boxing myself character thing is like, and then I saw it and watched him go toe to toe. I'm like, I wanted to see how they could get into it more.
yeah.
Like Shang-Chi just learned something. And I thought it would have been really good to have them work through their trauma while fighting each other. And then we could have wrapped it up with either the father, because he opened the gate to an extent, going inside and closing it down, that you could have redeemed himself that way.
Yeah.
Other than having some fucking like CGI monster, I'll do it for you. He's dead. You don't have to stain your soul and do something compromising. And now you just have to worry about punching the big bad until the movie's over.
And why did the father just give up at the end?
Yeah, he could have been like,
just he got
get off me.
scooped up, and then he just stares at Shang-Chi in the eyes lovingly as he's getting his soul sucked out of him.
Like,
they
I
could've
have
put-
no way to use these 10 rings to get myself free. I guess I'll just die. Yeah, I didn't really.
I mean, if they wanted to add some more story stuff, they could have talked about. He could have been talking about how tired he was. Like he's been around for so long, and then he lost his wife and everything. It's like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I lost
Like-
my wife. My kids don't want anything to do with me. I'm getting a little tired of being on top. Like
Yeah.
some kind of allude to that.
Yeah,
as well.
and then like, okay, here you go. You know, I'm not even gonna.
You could have gone a million different ways with that third act. And like I said, I'm not mad at what they had. I just felt like what they put in place for the final showdown was they kind of just moved that out the way for this CGI thing with this monster.
Because I felt like we were moving, like especially with these Marvel movies and everything. I thought we were moving away from that, or at least trying to try to like, you know, bring in some different shit when it comes to like finishing these movies up.
Yeah.
But like we keep going back to this, and I'm like, why?
It's
Like,
really crazy. Yeah, because this movie had a really, really good. Now, here's where I will say their final fight easily trumps the final fight for me in Black Panther. Like their final fight, him and his dad, like they were going at it. Like I thought,
you know
it was
why?
really cool.
You know, it was good because they were actually there.
Yeah, that helps. That helps. And they were actually on a set, not just a bunch of CGI.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
Yeah,
It's fine.
cats. But yeah,
CGI cat.
yeah, CGI cats fighting each other.
See,
But
like,
yeah,
they leaned less and less to that hand-to-hand fighting as the movie went on, and that was their strong point. I feel like their strong point was the hand-to-hand combat, the choreography, and they moved less and they moved further and further away from that as the movie progressed.
right.
You know, here's one thing, and this is going to like nitpickings and stuff. Like Shang-Chi, is he magic?
Yes.
No, like before he gets the rings, because like you know how much like he took a lot of punishment and he started doing these weird things. Like, wait a second, how is he able to do that?
Like what?
Like how he survived a punch from his dad when he was like, maybe his dad.
Well, his dad wasn't trying to kill him.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think
When
it
he
was
put
telling
those, it was a clear. They showed it to us plain and simple. When he put those rings on his chest, how they were turned sideways instead of going straight through. It's like they were cradling him up. Like he wasn't trying to kill his son at any point.
But like how hard he hit the water and everything. I don't care if he was trying. He wasn't trying to. His back would have been gone.
That's also true.
And then him jumping out the water and then doing the side thing with his hand. Like how's he? His hand. You can't touch that.
I imagine that he got the magic when he
Into the
got,
dragon.
when he was underwater and he got the air bubbles. They slowly went into his nose and like filled up his water with his
That's
lungs
how
with
they're
air.
doing that. That's those.
That's
some strong palms over there. He's lifting really good.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah. No, I'm rocking with it. Keep
The
going.
bubbles weren't magic enough for me. They should have been glowing.
Yeah, they should've-
and then he should have been glowing like, oh.
Yeah, all the time we talk about how we're not stupid and we don't have to beat it in over our heads, but this time you could have. You know, I would have appreciated it.
Visual, show me. Makes sense.
Show me how that air he's getting is magic. Show me.
Show
you know, and I didn't really get. Was it like I really hate how they how they were riding the dragon for almost like the last 10
20
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, I hated it. I'm just going to put it out there. I hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't even like the inclusion of the dragon. Like, they were like, the Great Protector only gets involved when it's really, really bad. Shang-Chi went down there for 5 minutes, like, hey, you need some help? And he just came right up and did the thing. Like, it wasn't bad yet. But,
Also, is this one of the heavenly cities?
I was really thinking that they were doing that, but there wasn't. If there was, I missed it. But it very well could have been an indication to the Seven Islands. That would have been. But I think
What's that?
That's gets into the Iron Fist lore.
Yeah.
The Seven Islands.
Because
Kunlun.
every heavenly city has a dragon protector.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was what the whole Iron Fist the last when he handed off his powers to the little girl.
Absolutely. That's been their lore forever. Like,
Yeah.
all the cities have a dragon. They have to do different things to it. He has to plunge his hands into it and shit. It's a whole thing. So I thought when they were explaining how there were civilizations far more advanced and all that stuff, I thought that's what they were alluding to.
There are buildings.
Yeah, but there were buildings, and that kind of threw me off because there are buildings there, but they don't look like that. They don't look like skyscrapers.
Yeah, they fucking. I thought it was Wakanda.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
Wait a second.
Wakanda?
Did you guys copy? Who copied?
What's going on here? Like, I don't know, but
I wonder if this is one of the things that they're gonna get into towards Eternals about just like hidden cities that are just all look like fucking Eternals.
That would be really cool for them to connect that, to show like how all these kind of like came about. Like the Eternals had that much of influence on the world.
right.
So
They popped up there, they fucked somebody for a little bit, and then they left.
Yeah.
And then they just said, hey, here's some building schematics.
There you
Level
go.
up, level yourself up.
One of the things that was really really enjoyable for me was Sister Dagger. I know I forgot what her name.
Sister.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I'm just gonna call her Sister Dagger because to me that I really hoped that they were gonna bring that 5 different siblings like story or kind of maybe show that, but they didn't. It's cool, but she's still Sister Dagger to me. She fucking played her to perfection.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she was
did.
great.
Every time she showed up, she did a great job. I loved her. I thought she was really, really, really cool. And there is some stuff in there that isn't really for us specifically, but if you notice it, you notice it. And I thought it was really cool how they woven all this shit about how it's like, you don't have to be what your parents tell you. You have to be.
Exactly.
That's a big thing for them, I know. And I thought it was really cool how they had so much stuff in here. Like, there was a lot to like in this movie.
Yeah. I want to know the whole Wong and Abomination thing. Like, what's going on there? You know how he's like
This is world building. They know each other. I like that.
Yeah, I like that, but I'm like, okay, give me. There's like there are things in this movie that kind of make me want, like, they chase after certain like storylines they keep putting at you. I'm like, hey, let's do that. Oh no,
Yeah, no. We're not giving you that. Maybe a what if or something. I don't know. But
Right.
they had a lot of little tidbits for comic fans. Abomination. Most people aren't gonna know what the fuck Abomination is. Especially that was a really good Abomination.
Yes, it was.
I really
the most
liked
comic
it.
accurate I've seen.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
It didn't look like a fucking hot pile of shit like it did in the first.
Like
in the first Hulk movie.
giant melting man with like some
What
weird.
was that in the Hulk movie? That
That was his first form.
Not enough money. That's what it was.
Hey, I like that movie.
Hey, I like the movie too. I thought Tim Roth did a great job, but clearly more money was
You
spent
brought
here.
that up. Maybe a little hint to Fat Cobra.
There was a segment in here where there was these little cage matches, and there was these couple guys fighting a sumo wrestler, and I thought that was a hint to Fat Cobra's Island in the Kunlun 7 Islands of Heaven thing.
Maybe
It could have been. It would be very cool if they subtly threw that in there. Although I understand while not being a little bit more direct, because the Iron Fist lore is a little toxic right now. There are people. Marvel wants to please everybody, so they're not going to go for. Oh, hey, remember that white guy who knows comic books? They're not going to do that right now. Not in Shang-Chi's movie, but
No, fuck no.
if that was a hint, that was very subtle, very cool, and I would appreciate it because they need to get on that big time.
Yeah, I actually expected that to be before Shang-Chi. I expected that phase like 3.
Yeah, me too.
When they did it should have never been a Netflix show.
Yeah,
No.
really. Because, to be honest, like I said, I had just read Matt Fraction's whole run of Iron Fist like a few years before that show came out. So I was expecting big things. And I can only hope, and I won't get into my fallen dreams on that show because we all know we've seen it. Even if you saw 5 minutes of it, we all saw the same thing. It's pretty bad. But But I would hope that this new breath of life that is this really crisp sound down to a T martial arts they're doing in here, this magic, I hope that's another chance to turn that rock back over and see if there's something we can't just redo, because whatever they decide to do with Danny, and I know the internet's going to argue back and forth, should he be white? Should he be a man? Should he be whatever they choose to do? Whatever they choose to do. Of course, I would choose to go a little bit more traditional route, get us Danny. But whatever they choose to do, I really hope they capitalize on it, because that world over there with this shit that we just saw, like doors open. Like the dynasty will be on top for another 10 years easily if they devolve into that shit.
Yeah,
so,
you bring in the spider girl.
Yes,
Please bring in that girl that spits out spiders.
please.
Ooh, okay.
There's a lot.
So that touched on a kink that I never thought I was going to ever have.
Kinked a lot.
Man, but yeah, I think we moved a lot between what we talked about, what we liked, what we didn't like,
Questions
about the film. I guess I know none of us at this table know enough about Shang-Chi to talk about what we'd like to see him do next.
Yeah.
But
The only thing that I know that I wanted were the 5 siblings, and it doesn't look like we're really getting that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
He was there for 1,000 years. He could have just popped
coulda
up a
had
couple
more
kids.
he could have
I
easily.
hope that he just kept them secret somewhere. Yeah, there's hope. Please let me have Sister Hammer.
Yes, please. Please get her. I don't care if you gotta snatch one of these muscular chicks from the Olympics. If she can't act worth a damn, but get her in here.
She doesn't have to speak.
She doesn't have to talk.
She just has to be there with this gigantic hammer and just beating people over the head with it.
That beautiful
Please.
bald head.
I honestly, you talk about from the issues that we read.
Yes.
Yeah, from the Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
I thought that was her, honestly, because
I thought it was her too until they got the white, and like when they had that black yellow, I was like, "Is this Sister Hammer?" And then they gave her a white uniform, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's Dagger."
Yeah. So
Okay, that made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they do that. I mean, obviously, I can't wait to see Shang-Chi interact with more Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Mark Ruffalo is just looking older and older every time I
It's
see him.
scary. I'm like, how many years has passed? Has it been that long?
He's stressed. I don't even know. Yeah, he's stressed. You see him. He can't use his hand no more.
You know, his man Bernie.
I know. Yeah, he's small again. I noticed.
Yeah,
like,
he's small. His man Bernie lost the election. You know, Mark Ruffalo is going through. I mean, Bruce Banner. He's going through a lot. You know, and it shows.
I like how Carol is always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gotta go.
I can't talk too long.
Why'd you call me? Rings? You don't
Right.
even know where they came
What?
from? You called a meeting for something that you don't know about?
I'm
Okay.
saving the universe.
Listen, call me when you get more information. God.
Right. This is an email, not a call. Bye, guys.
It flies. Superman's away.
I got people to save. What are you doing?
Yeah, post-credit scene wise, there is a scene where I'm just gonna say it. Wong is like some kind of figurehead for the Avengers. I mean,
They
what
need
are
a leader.
what are they trying to do right now? What is this?
He
Wong is everywhere. Wong is fighting people. Wong is putting missions together.
yeah, he's doing his own
He's just all
independent
over the place.
research.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I guess he's trying to be more of like a kind of a stand-in of a manager for the Avengers, because like it feels like I was expecting Doctor Strange to be there in some capacity, and he was like, nah. And you know, it makes sense because the character's an asshole, so he's probably off just like trying to do a new spell or something.
He's like, I don't care about this.
I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
Wong, take care of this.
take it. Like
Again.
yeah,
Wong has never worked harder in his life
not at all, not at all.
than when Doctor Strange became fucking sorcerer. Wong, I need a spell. What spell?
I need a spell.
But
Buy that for me.
I loved his introduction in this movie. I just like when that character shows up, and this is that thing we kind of touched on with the Spider-Man trailer. We're just bullshitting now. Our review for the movie is pretty much over, but like we're just kind of spitballing now. Like the thing I do like seeing the other characters from other movies,
Fuck yeah.
like just show up
Just
and
be there.
I love that.
Pay him a couple, like, I'm not sure, $100,000 or something like that. Have him show up. Like,
Yeah, have him do something.
We've been in this world, this universe for so long. It's about time that everyone's just walking through each other's films.
Right.
Just show up.
I know it's not going to happen because, you know, continuity wise, the character's dead. And also that Disney shit, you know, she's just not going to show up in anything else unless she's,
What are you talking about?
I'm getting to it.
Oh, okay.
But I can't wait for the day where I would see Black Widow show up in someone's movie that's not a Captain America. You know, like
She's dead.
I just was building up to that the whole time, so you didn't have to say that.
She did.
Yeah,
But-
she did.
So, well, here's the thing you can do. Let's rate the movie. Rate the movie, and then we can go into just spend a little time since this is the official start of the fourth phase. What do we think they're going with this? Any speculations of what this rings may be?
Perfect.
We
Okay.
can close off with that, but I guess I'll start with myself. I feel like this movie was like 7 rings out of 10.
Oh fuck
I
you!
was-
I was gonna say 7 rings. God damn it!
It was.
It
Should've went
too
first.
Easy. It was too
It's
easy.
too easy.
Yeah, it was too easy. Yeah,
I was thinking of something else. All right, I'll give you the 7 rings. I'll do 7.
No, you said it now.
Too
It's
late,
on the
too
ether.
late,
Do
too
what
late.
you're gonna do. Like
It would have again. I really feel like this would have been a really high movie in my list if that third act would have been different.
Yeah,
And
if it
the
landed a little
soundtrack.
better. Yeah.
That is my biggest gripe is just the third arc. Other than that, it probably would have been just comedy wise and all that would have been up there. One of my favorite movies.
I'm pretty much 7.5. I can't even think of
7.5 what? 7.5 what? Ken?
pendants, green mother pendants
Well, you can do better than that. You can do better.
7.5 dragon scales on the door.
on the door. Fuck, I can't think.
Why are the dragon scales different sizes?
Yeah,
worry
because
about
they're not that
don't worry
dragon
about it.
scales. Yeah, you're right. We're asking the wrong questions. Worry about the wrong thing.
Wong thing.
Boo! You don't even deserve a sound effect. Just cutting your mic off.
I try.
Where's Clarence?
Shut up.
So I can beat you with that pillow.
I'm still trying to bite time so I can come up with my analogy because I really thought nobody was going to go for the rings, and now I'm just sitting
you
here
kidding?
like
That's
with
the
nothing.
easiest.
I thought because it was so obvious nobody else would do it.
Okay.
Here, let me help you. Whatever number Dynasty Warrior battles.
Out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Can I say I love the Dynasty Warriors fucking
Oh
battle?
fuck yeah! He showed up by himself. Like I don't need no help.
He pulled up like Lou Boo and just knocking everybody out the way.
He's like, "How many men are you sending in?"
Not enough.
10.
Why does he have an army?
Right.
That
He's
just
like-
seems like more mouths to feed.
He's like, "Y'all can stay home. I got it." I would give this movie. Oh fuck! I really wish.
There's not a lot of
it's so
number
obvious.
thingies in this movie.
I would give this movie. It's not gonna be good.
Oh.
It's just not gonna be better. No. No. What are you doing?
Prosthetic blades. 7 prosthetic
Was
blades.
it claw, iron?
I give this movie.
7 wasted ninja potentials.
I give this movie. I give this movie 7.5. Fuck. Shirtless Shang-Chi bodies out of 10.
What?
There.
Oh, you could have said abs.
They're best friends, and she's never seen them without a
Yeah,
shirt
you
off.
never see. I doubt that.
Yeah.
I know she's seen him. With
Nah, she was surprised. She was like,
Grandma's like, when you gonna marry that?
I get. Okay, wait. I got
put
it.
a ring on it. I got
it.
10. Don't
I got
worry.
it. I give this movie. 7.5. Strangely well placed arrows out of 10.
Ah, she was a natural for whatever.
Yeah,
Oh
like-
my god.
I thought they were gonna allude to her having some
Being a
kind of,
thing?
history there, like, but that I guess that would be too perfect. Like, oh, we're both special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping that, again, going back to the siblings, I was hoping that fucking Blue Ninja was going to end up being like Brother Sword or something.
Yeah.
like,
Fuck. Wouldn't that have been?
he was wasted. I'm so mad.
Yeah. You're right. This
I
movie,
liked him so much.
The only thing keeping this movie from an 8.5 for me is again the trajectory of that third act, and also you almost lose half a point for not doing anything special with that soundtrack. I mean, this was, you don't make too many movies like this in the MCU. Like there's Guardians of the Galaxy, there's Black Panther, and there's Shang-Chi for literally breaking the mold and doing that different thing. And the soundtrack has to be unique, especially for the first movie.
and you're
just
bringing,
didn't do it.
And if you're gonna choose Shang-Chi to be the entrance into this mystical city, so this mystical area of Marvel, you dropped the ball.
Yes,
Yeah.
for in that aspect alone, like you could easily elevate the movie just a little bit more. But yeah, still, it's really a pretty high bar for me. It's pretty good. And, I'm sorry, as far as origins are concerned, this is easily one of the best. Like, if the new formula for the first entry of someone is around this level, I'll take it. Like, this was good for me.
I can appreciate that he was kind of like.
No, I
like,
want more. I'm not gonna lie.
I always want more.
Yeah.
But if it's like this, if this is what I have to settle for, if I don't get that, if this is the bare minimum,
You're sounding like a DC fan. What do you mean settle and bare minimum?
We don't settle for more.
We ain't shilling.
Yeah,
you're right.
We ain't shilling. Fuck this. This movie was flawed. This movie needed a better ending.
Yeah,
that's true. Absolutely.
But with that being said, I'm sorry, you were gonna say something. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like just for like an origin story and stuff. I was happy to know that he was fully formed, and besides being a little too many, like we just had flashbacks, to go back to explain a little bit here and there. I just wish it wasn't so many flashbacks and doing the same thing. Or like you said, we see one scene and then we go right back to it and then it's longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they tried the exposition. They tried to give it to you in blurps, but it was weird the way they. It works in comics for some reason, but it didn't work in this one.
Yeah,
it didn't work in live
action. It's a little jarring to keep going back and forth. And there was one point where I was literally so confused. So I'm like, okay, so is the mother really dead, or is she actually?
I thought she was. Yeah,
yeah. At one point, I'm like,
I thought she was gonna come out of a cot, like when they showed up, like, oh, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, because because these are cultural things, and they talk the way they talk about the dead. It kind of there's a break for me because I was so confused. Like, let's go see your mom. I was like, I thought she was dead, and then they go to the candle set. I'm like, oh right, and then like actually she's behind this portal. I'm like,
you can't.
So is she dead or not?
You're confusing me.
Yeah, confusing me. Yeah.
They confused themselves because at the end they were like, well, shit, we said she's here the whole time. What do we do now? It was the fucking Cthulhu monster talking to him.
Right, which is really fucked up, by the way. Calling on someone else's phone, like, hey, come get me. Last little gripe for me. I know we're kind of done. We gave a rating. I hated the costume. I didn't hate the costume. You hated it. Just, I feel like it could have been a little bit more inspired.
Like by the comic or just in general?
Period. Like, I know they do things. Actually, yes, they do things where they have all this influence and all this inspiration where it doesn't have to be an exact comic book take.
No.
Even with Black Panther, like, it wasn't entirely like Tasani Coates and Brian Stofreese's Black Panther, where you could see the purple inside his armor, but it was there. The element was there. Mm-hmm. So his costume was distinct in that way. And for Shang-Chi, his outfit was. I don't want to be super mean about it, but his superhero outfit looked like he was a waiter at a restaurant in that city.
He looks like a leveled up busboy. Remember his busboy outfit?
Yeah.
It just looks like that, but just like, oh, now you're the ultimate busboy.
Right. Like you're a step up now.
It gave me very Eternal vibes because the Eternal trailer played right before it. It gave me it just looked like an Eternal armor.
Yeah, they're take an idea for an outfit and do less.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what they were going for because they were kind of implementing the dragon scale type armor feel.
How did his mother know how their exact outfit,
their exact measurements?
The exact measurements before she died.
I was thinking that they were like, damn, that'd be really fucked up if Shang was fat. Gonna have to take that one back to the drawing board.
Like, we've had these for you waiting.
Yeah. Waiting.
They're too big.
It's like we knew you were super cut. So
the tailors there, I'm telling you, they work
around the clock.
The turnaround.
They're so good.
I also like the fact that Marvel has decided to get a lot of things going on in this universe now. So of just one particular point, like we have ground level, the ground level world with like heist and spies and stuff like that. Now we got cosmic coming in more with like the Eternals and probably other shit, and then now we have, like you said, mystical. Like we're now in the mystical land stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I like that because you're gonna find something that you like from all this, no matter what.
So I wonder, like I said, I want to get into the future. We'll just spend a couple minutes on this.
Okay,
what we think the next phase 4 is going to kind of lead to, because they show you in 2 different scenes, kind of like stems there are going to be splitting off of this movie. One being the question of what these rings are. Yeah. I mean, I hope they're not going for another Infinity Stone type deal where it's like, oh, these things are all powerful, and here's this being coming to take
Recollect
them
them,
for
yeah.
whatever he needs. I hope they don't go in that way. I do hope they get into how, and maybe this is clashing with my statement, but I kind of want them to get into how each ring is different.
Yeah.
Like Clarence would say, they're just fucking Infinity Stones, because they really are in the comic.
Yeah.
Those rings are just fucking Infinity Stones.
They do different things. Like one heals, one kind of like gives them.
One's gravity, one's time manipulation, one is like mind control,
Yeah.
one is exoskeletal armor, all these different ones that are omnipotent weapons. But
Yeah.
I hope they're not just like, oh, rehashing another Thanos is coming in to fucking scoop them up, or there were Kang's fucking
Right. Yeah.
maybe that's where they're gonna go. Maybe they're Kang's rings and Kang is coming back for them.
Ooh,
or something.
that would
I don't
be
know.
something. For me, honestly, we kind of talked about it earlier because a lot of us thought the dragon was Fing Fang Foom. If they were somehow to work that into the lore, like some kind of mystical creature, I'd be willing to hear it out. I mean, we're talking about the dynasty here. Like, if that were something we were going towards, maybe he's a little too small scale for that, and we kind of did the dragon thing just now. So
I'm really mad they did the dragon thing because of that. Fing Fang
Right.
Foom is not going to have
The same oomph.
Yeah, if they bring in Fing Fang Foom,
right,
like,
because you can just call that motherfucking dragon up. He'll take care of it. He was
But no, Fing Fang
exactly.
Foom is bigger and cooler. And
He has arms.
He's gonna have literal like
in muscles.
big.
Keep the dragon ass.
He looks like fucking dog on cat dog
Yeah,
and everything.
just-
He's like
call up homie from Krakoa. What was his name?
If you don't got mutant DNA, you don't have that number.
What was his name? The alligator guy?
Fucking shit. What is his name?
Fu. You say Fu Rome or some shit?
I'm gonna say Foom. Maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But yeah, in terms of the future of like Phase 5, at first I was thinking that they were just gonna do like Avengers 2.0 with a Carol-led team, but how they're diversifying, I just feel like this feels like a new Avengers, type deal, if anything. Now the roster, they might use the name of New Avengers, but the roster is not going to be anywhere near close. Like if you're going to add Shang-Chi, you might as well take up that banner and go like, here's all these other people from our next phase. I don't know, that has to be where they're going next. I mean, all depending on what they tend to do with the X-Men or anything like that, or what this multiverse of madness shit is gonna pan out to be.
Yeah.
But if we're talking just based off what I've seen, Black Widow, which we don't really count Black Widow, right? That kind of happened.
No.
Happen.
This movie is the official start to the next phase.
Yeah.
I mean,
Black
I guess
Widow was not.
Yeah, right. It was just like an obligation. Let's just get it out.
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, an obligation that I enjoy, but still,
it
felt like they had to get it out the way.
That movie should have been a lot sooner.
Oh my god, so much sooner.
She was cheated.
And it could have had more features on it too, like the Drake album.
That's true.
There. But yeah, I just hope to see again more of that martial arts. Again, I really want them to capitalize on the Iron Fist shit and bring that. If we're gonna go into this part of the world, let's use every element that we can. That's natural anyway. Before we have to add stuff and mix things around, like that could be done very easily. And I do hope they get into that a lot more. That's just what I hope to see, whether it be a show or a film.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, the other ending scene showed us Sister Dagger taking over the 10 Rings.
Yeah.
This looks like it's going to be a direct Disney Plus series, maybe showing what she's going to do with the...
Yeah, what she does with the dynasty and that shit.
It would be
What do you think she'll go to being a villain? Because she had kind of a villainous pose at the end. Like it was a very like
she has her like
underworld,
her father's ambitions. Like she especially the fact that when she felt like she was cheated out of like her birthright. She feel like why can I not be helped with the empire? Then I'll just make my own. So she finally got one that's already established. I do wonder like how that's gonna like. Is Shang gonna start talking to his sister a lot more, because like she told him, I guess they seemed to have talked to like, okay, she's gonna go and dismantle everything, and she didn't do shit.
She gave it a facelift. She brought that motherfucker to a bunch of tags. Age.
Yeah,
that fucking the walls of that citadel looked like my goddamn wall on MySpace in 2006.
I'm
graffiti and
Yeah, graffiti everywhere.
yeah,
And trap music.
trap music everywhere.
And yeah,
360 Mafia just blaring through the compound.
people wearing various tank tops and
Yeah.
Doing push-ups while
Looking
listening
hot.
to Slob on My Knob.
corn on the cob.
she really did change the place up. Honestly, yeah,
Very fast.
very fast. I like it. This is literally the one on the docket I had no idea was coming or if they're going to do anything with that. But if they do, I'd check it out for sure. I mean, if they're going to do more like, give us more of that Fight Club shit.
Please.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would. I know this is like, it may be far out there depending on what Feige has under the cap, but we get more Fight Club shit. I want to see Daredevil.
Yeah.
I want to see Daredevil fight somebody.
This
No,
would be-
especially the fact that like everyone thought that Daredevil was going to be representing Spider-Man, but apparently something got revealed. Like someone saw Shang-Chi at an IMAX, and then Spider-Man trailer showed up, and they had a better aspect ratio. So like you got to see the guy's face. It wasn't Matt.
Oh, I knew
unfortunately.
that.
Yeah, but everyone was hoping for it.
Nice.
Everybody really wants.
We're not. Sadly, I don't believe we'll ever get that guy to play
Which would be
Daredevil
really
again.
unfortunate.
It's a shame. It really is.
It's really good.
I don't think we'll ever get him or the people who play Jessica Jones. Or
Yeah.
I don't think they're
They're gonna leave
back.
Mike Coulter's ass. They're not even gonna pick up the phone. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you did all right. Everyone loved your first season, but you out of here. But,
You had to go and become Kingpin.
yeah, you had to go and become
Luke Cage.
Kingpin.
What the fuck?
We had to shut you down. Sorry, but yeah, I will. If we get more Fight Club shit, I want to see more street level heroes. I want to see Moon Knight. You could have shit. You could have so many people show up if you did that. Like that would be. I know I'm probably talking about something that's not even in the realm of happening. But oh my god, that'd be cool to see Street Fighters.
Again, that brings back to the problem of this movie that it went from that to just cosmic level really fast, and it kind of was like, to me, it made a statement that Disney was like, we're not dealing with this little shit. That's Disney Plus shit. If
Right.
you want to watch that little shit, go to Disney Plus. You come here for this cosmic
For the
shit.
big shit, exactly.
Right.
Big problem.
This is going to be monsters and CGI galore. you want fantastic storytelling? You go watch Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I hope that's good too. I think that's in the
Oh my God, I hope
next
so.
month.
Yeah.
I think it's next month.
Okay.
Speaking of, while we're about to wrap this up, just real quick, what do you guys think? Have you guys checked out any of the what ifs?
I
I haven't
have.
had time.
I have.
Fantastic.
They're
Very
good?
good.
Okay.
To me personally, and this is just something we can get into once we're all here and once we've all seen it.
Yeah.
Nothing right now tops number 2. No, that number
Really?
2 for me was. Don't get me wrong. I liked number 4. Number 4 went to a place that they just don't do,
Yeah.
and I loved it more than this first movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
agree.
that number 2 was special in a way where it was just like, wow, I don't think they hit that out of the park more than they know. Like,
I believe so.
just oh man, it was really good. You know?
And this, I've been getting different vibes of which we're gonna get into, of different vibes of different Disney properties or like movies that they're kind of basing them off of.
Oh yeah,
I've got I don't know if El Dorado is Disney.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's Pixar.
I think it's another animation
Pixar.
company.
DreamWorks, I think.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Yeah.
some of it giving me like El Dorado vibes,
Mm.
but hey, we'll get to that. Again, good movie. Go watch it.
Go
At the
watch
beginning
Very
of the fourth. All shutting aside, could have been better.
yeah. That third act is really what can kill it for some people, and if you don't like it because of that, I totally understand.
Yeah, we
me
get it.
personally, I feel like I get it, but I also wish they went smaller. So
To finish beating a dead horse, this has been our review for Shang-Chi.
Yep.
If you guys enjoyed it, hit the bell, subscribe,
Yep.
leave us a feedback that you enjoyed Shang-Chi, that you like the third act, that you feel that the inclusion of something bigger is the natural progression of Marvel movies. Yeah, let us know what you thought.
Yeah, are you getting tired of the formula? Do you love the formula? Do you think it's in its prime? Yeah, tell us what you think. You know, you guys better get it in while you can, because, you know, this is the last little bit of content you're going to see of us for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
We're going on a short. We're going on like a 2 to 3 week break or something like that. So.
Yeah, so if you miss us, you know, tell us about how you feel about the topics we talked about. Do you agree? Would you like to see Hammer Sisters' muscly body?
If you know
In the
who that
movie?
is.
And if you don't,
Learn.
You need to find out.
Learn.
Get educated.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, you can follow me on Art of Sumo at Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget to follow the pages for the Thirsty Nerds on Instagram and Twitter. We're so close to 200 followers on Instagram, and I think we can go higher. So get on there and help us out.
Remember, find us at Thirsty Nerds on Instagram and Twitter, and you can follow me if you want. I changed my at, so it's at King Creates with a K X. King Creates X.
In the way that Genesis is with an SYS.
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter under just_1_beats or Instagram just_uno. Thank you for joining us in another episode, and we'll see you guys soon.
Peace out, nerds.
Closed fist, better with open palms. Bye.
Bye.